Mike Norris here. Hey, I thought I've done this in the past. I thought I'd make a little video that shows how teachers can put in classroom referrals. That is something new that we turned on a couple of years ago, so that classroom referrals that got classroom consequences were still documented, so that if it ever arose to the point where the student had to go see their administrator, the administrator would still be able to see those classroom referrals and those classroom consequences that occurred. We did it that way because, oftentimes the student gets sent down and we make that first phone call home, and the parent is like, well, that's never happened before, or something like that. But if we can pull it up and see that it's happened, you know, 28 times before across his teaching schedule, then that changes the conversation that we're able to have with the parent. And we can be like, well, no, it does look like it's a problem because he received classroom referrals on this day and he had to do a detention, or he received a classroom referral this day, he got a phone call home. We can have those kind of conversations. So I just thought I would show you how to do it real quick. I put myself in a class at the high school with a couple students. I'm going to blur out that name, so hopefully you can't see it. But this is the student. I'm going to add the referral, and this is the default discipline officer. So it defaults to the person who would see him automatically, but you can change the name to maybe some other people who are discipline officers as well if need be. The offense, these are the only offenses that are available to teachers to put in. So you can see there's cheating, disruptive behavior, some dress code, class rules, disobeying class rules, disrespectful. You can see them all. Choose one of those. Do not choose 21. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you choose one of those, you can say he was disobeying class rules. It happened, hopefully it happened on campus, but I guess you could have been on a field trip. Didn't happen on a bus, so we're not going to talk about that. It's a classroom referral. And so you're going to add a classroom action. So maybe you contacted the parent. Now, pro tip, always contact the parent. But maybe all you did was contact the parent, or maybe you gave a detention or a lunch detention. Let's say you did a lunch detention, and then you make sure the date's right, and you add the action. And now we've just added the action to the student. If you've notified the parent, if you made that contact, say that you did, write anything that's applicable in there. I would be clear. So if he disobeyed the class rule, it was this student was, I don't know, chewing gum in class and smacking bubbles, whatever, called the parent and discussed it with the parent, something like that. And then all you have to do is hit save. I'm not going to hit save because I don't actually want to give this student a referral. All right. Here is when you use 21. So 21 means that it's an action that's probably either above what would be expected to be handled in the classroom, or it's one of those other behaviors, but it just happens repeatedly. He continues to chew gum, continues, doesn't stop. Doesn't matter how many phone calls you make home, doesn't matter how many lunch detentions it's been, but he continues to make that violation. So now you can just go see the office. In that case, put it as a 21 for a violation of the student conduct code. That is what triggers an administrator to know that a student has a referral. That's the only code that triggers it. If you do one of those others, it doesn't trigger it. It's there if the administrator looks it up, but it doesn't trigger that, hey, I need to call the student down and have a conversation with the student about their behavior. So choose that 21. Doesn't matter what the kid did, choose 21. The administrator will then change it to whatever's appropriate. So if it was whatever it was, fighting or drugs or smoking in the bathroom, whatever it was, the administrator will make that change on the offense when they deal with the kid. Don't have it toggled down. And in that case, you would just hit 21 and you just hit save, and that would send it. And that's it. That's pretty easy. Make sure to notify parents and make sure to document those referrals, because it does change the conversation if the assistant principal knows that it has happened multiple times, not just this time that you sent the student down. Thank you very much.